Welcome and thank you for joining our Synergy Service Solutions overview. Today in this presentation, we would like to introduce myself, Andrea McClendon. I am owner and founder of Synergy Service Solutions. And on the page in front of you, you actually see our contact details here. My lead recruiter and onboarding specialist, Christan Stevens. You'll have much hands-on experience with her, as she is definitely responsible for making sure that you get assistance from start to finish, and making sure that you know every step of the way what it is that you would need to be doing and where you need to be located. Now, you may wish to take a moment to jot down our phone numbers here. We are reachable by any of the methods noted here, and you will get an opportunity to notate this information at a later time, further down through the presentation. As you can also see too, our website address is synergyservicesolutions.com, so definitely feel free to peruse the website and just read what we're about and what type of company we definitely are. Now, just to give you a little background about Synergy Service Solutions, Synergy has been using the Arise platform since late 2004 and has actually made it a priority to gauge other work from home agents that strive to provide excellent customer service for our clients. So we are in the business of allowing you to work from home. Now, our support begins from the moment the agent or yourself reaches out to Synergy while researching our call center companies. We review your applicable skill sets, interest, and lifestyles in order to match the client that best fits you. It is also important to involve you in this process because, let's face it, you are the one that's making this large decision to be able to work from home, and we need to have you engaged at every step of the way because we definitely want this to be a win-win for everyone involved, and we want to make it a good fit for you. All right. And as we go through this process, and you will see some of the companies that we actually support, and some will be very familiar to you. So, because quite honestly, many of you spend your money at a lot of these particular companies on a weekly or monthly basis. So why not take that income that you spend at these different businesses and possibly help those businesses to also be successful by supporting the customers, other customers just like yourself, but you'll just be on the other side of the phone assisting those customers. Okay. We also encourage you to visit their websites, the company's websites, because this will give you an overall view possibly of what type of customer calls you'll be taking and what type of questions customers will have when they call in. You know, what I like to use as an analogy is think of the things that you call maybe your cable company for, your cell phone company. You call them to, pay your bill, make a payment arrangement. Maybe you're adding a feature. Maybe you're taking a feature off. Maybe you're moving and you need to make sure your services transfer. All of those types of things are items that we would potentially help our customers with, depending on the type of client you decide to support. Now, our HR department is responsible for making sure that you have the documents, the tools, equipment, and resources necessary in order to be successful from day one of the certification course. Our goal is to identify any potential roadblocks early in the process, as this will allow us to have a higher certification success rate and encourages long-term retention and success with the company. Many agents have moved forward to form their own mini call centers. However, many remain with Synergy for many years, and they may just introduce their friends and family to this awesome opportunity that we have available to us. So, just so you are aware, we do have two avenues or two paths that you could potentially take, either right out the gate or at a later time. So you do have the option of servicing as a client support professional for Synergy Service Solutions, or you may be the more adventurous type, or maybe you already have businesses that you have established that you would like to incorporate this process as part of your own personal business. And just so you're aware, as that business is developed and or created, there are some prerequisites for creating that business. So if that is an avenue that you're interested in particularly, please reach out to us and we can go over how we can assist you with getting started in creating your own business and helping you make the right decisions and, down the right path. Now, with that being said, what we offer with our Arise partnership, because as I stated, Synergy is a premier partner with Arise. We're at a bronze status at this stage, and we definitely are rated and graded to obtain our statuses. So we don't just get laxed on our morals and things of that nature. Once we were induced into the premier partnership, there are different metrics and things of that nature that Synergy is required to meet in order to maintain that rating, to maintain that partnership. So with that being said, we look for the agents in our departments and within our company to help us to maintain that, because, without you, we do not exist. And we're actually, held to a standard for metrics based on what our agents in our corporation does. If you're successful on the client, are you able to work long-term on the client? Do you pass the certifications of the client? Is there something that we could have done better to help assist you to get you to the finish line? So we'll go over a lot of those things later on in the presentation and as we take you down your, this journey. But what are some of the things that we do offer with our Arise partnership? Arise is able to provide to Synergy and subsequently you the ability to support Fortune 500 and sometimes Fortune 100 companies from your home. As you remember, I did mention that some of these companies you probably spend your money at least on a weekly basis. We have a variety of different accounts. We cover some of the cruise ship reservations, different cruise ship companies, theme parks, some of the major theme parks. And if you think real hard, you'll be able to figure out who those are. We support cable companies, various roadside assistance companies, and major retailers. Some of the major retailers, either department stores or possibly even home improvement stores, that we would be able to provide inbound customer service, sales, or tech support for these companies. And it's very important that you realize that as a agent with Synergy Service Solutions, that we are actually representing these companies as if we worked in the brick and mortar buildings of these companies. So when the customers call in, they do not know that you may be at your home, in your office, at your desk. When we answer those phones, we are XYZ Cable Company, and we present ourselves as such. And we also present ourselves as a united front. We're part of that company. It's not someone there or they, it's us, we, us. I'll be more welcome and, more than happy to assist you, that type of thing. So we never want to make that distinction that we are not part of the larger, bigger company. Now, with these trainings that we have available to us for the particular companies, we have various training schedules available. Those training schedules can be set based on what the company needs. If we need 400 or 500 agents, they may be inclined to offer the trainings at different intervals during the day or different time frames during the day in order to fill those courses. I will tell you that if we have a company or a training that we're holding, that means we definitely have work for you once you're out of that training. Okay. Now, one of the great things about working from home is to be able to have that flexibility in your schedule. And I can tell you that most of our clients only ask us to work a minimum of 15 hours. And we may have one or two that say 20 hours a week, and we have a few that even say maybe 10 hours a week. And so we'll kind of go over that as we develop and review the client that would be a good fit for you and how it will also fit into your current lifestyle. Maybe you work a a full-time job currently. And I can tell you that many of the agents that do partner with us work full-time jobs. So you could be a stay-at-home mom and do this full-time, or just maybe part-time, and you still want to have the time, available maybe to homeschool your kids, or just be able to go to the PTA meetings and things of that nature and participate in your child's education. But we also, on the other spectrum, have individuals that work full-time and utilize this opportunity as a way to earn additional revenue to, supplement their home incomes, things of that nature. Maybe they have a trip on the horizon, or maybe they're saving for a new house or a new car. So you can definitely utilize this, this vehicle, this opportunity to do that. Now, with the types of companies that we do support, as you can imagine, most of them are most likely busy on the weekends. And just face it, most of us would not choose to work a weekend if we didn't have, if we had a choice. However, most of our companies are very busy on the weekend. So we may also ask you, as part of your minimum 15 hours a week, to possibly do 5 of those 15 hours on a weekend. And for us, weekends are typically Sunday and or Saturday, or any combination of those 2 days. But sometimes a company may also be busy, like on a Monday. Maybe Monday mornings are very busy for a particular company. So they may ask that you work 5 or 7.5 hours on Sunday, Monday, or Saturday, or any combination thereof. Now, keep in mind that I've always stated and covered the minimum hours. That means that this is what we would expect for you to do to maintain a active partnership with Synergy and subsequently Arise. Now, we do have the ability to work more hours than that based on the customers or the client's availability and hours of operation. So say, for instance, if a business is open from 8 a.m. in the morning to 12 midnight, then you would actually be given a schedule to be able to select the time frames that you would like to work during those open hours of operation. Some of our accounts may be closed on Sundays. Some may be closed on weekends entirely. And then we have a few that are 24 hours a day. So having that flexibility of picking a client that may be 24 hours and maybe fitting it in, maybe after you've helped the kids with their homework in the evening, you decide, well, I can work 2 or 3 hours a night after I've done all my family duties, things of that nature. So as you can see, this can be molded to fit what you have going on in your life. Now, with that being said, I will tell you what we are looking for. And I will also add that we're not looking for everyone. We want individuals that can show and exhibit professionalism. They're reliable and responsible. As you can imagine, when you work from home, we have to put a good amount of faith in you as the agent that you're going to actually show up and come to work when you told me you would. It's not like being in a building where I can watch the time clock and say, hey, Sharice hasn't punched in yet. Now I need to call her. I need to have that faith that you're going to show up for work just as you scheduled the hours. And even more importantly, because it is so flexible, because you chose the hours, then we put a very, the heavy burden on you to follow through with that. And to be honest with you, it's not a burden at all. In order to do this, you have to be that type of person, that go-getter, that person who's dependable. You're always wanting to learn new skills. Enthusiastic. Who wants to hear a dry customer service agent on the phone, or someone who's speaking to you to help you with maybe your bill, or, maybe you're calling in to plan a trip, and the person on the other end just doesn't sound very interested in what they're helping you with? Oh, that could be a downer. So these are the types of qualities that we're looking for. You definitely have to be disciplined and good at time management. Be a very independent spirit. Working from home is not for everyone. And you will find that once you do start working from home, every friend and neighbor will come out of the woodwork. And there's going to always be something going on. Oh, we're going to a picnic. Do you want to join us? Well, you have to have that discipline to say, I've selected to work this afternoon, so I would have to join you maybe after I'm done with my servicing my hours. We count on you, and we count on you to make the right decisions. And a few other good skills and attributes that we're looking for are individuals that are good planners, they have good listening skills. I mean, as a customer service agent, you are there to help the customer, so you have to be able to listen to what they're saying. Give them the opportunity to explain why they're calling. And then, you would like to respond with, I would be more than happy to assist you today. And these are the things I can do for you. You also have to be flexible and adaptable. Since we are dealing with different technologies and working from home, you have to be patient. You have to be a person who will not allow little hiccups in technology to just throw you all out of whack and just say, I'm just done. I'm just throwing it up in the air. I quit. You have to be able to take the little bumps. It is technology. Nothing's perfect. And just as humans they're not perfect. So we're introducing humans and technology, and you just have to be patient and be willing to learn and just, willing to learn new skills. Of course, we do ask and require that all of our support professionals are 18 years of age and older. And we also are always looking for bilingual agents. We have many, many opportunities for different agents that may speak French, Spanish. Sometimes we even need Portuguese. And from time to time, depending on the client, we may even have Quebecois, which is a version of French for the Canadian market. So as you can see, with Synergy and the partnership with Arise, we have opportunity to cross borders, cross language lines, and be able to help customers in all different types of businesses. Now, as a client support professional, or CSP, as we like to refer to you as, you will be an independent contractor. You will be providing that customer service, sales, or tech support, and we will determine, which one best fits you. Not everyone is suited to be a technical person on the phones with the customer. That's where that patience will come in. So we do service many different clients, and you do get to choose the client that you would like to work as well as the schedule you would like to work. Again, those are the big, big factors that makes Arise what it is because we do have that flexibility. And we definitely welcome you to join us in your PJs as we grow together. And, we say this is a business you can do from your kitchen table or, any quiet location that you may have in your home. And it doesn't necessarily require that you get dressed to do the work. Some of us have our routines. You may get your coffee, you get your shower in the morning, and you go in your office and you start your day. So I did want to spend a few moments on what is an independent contractor, because you've heard me mention that just a couple times. And if you can just imagine, just as a doctor must pay for their schooling and their licenses to participate, to get their certifications, things of that nature, and they put in a lot of time to learn their craft. Once they're done, then they do like internships and residencies and things of that nature. So we have a similar type of project or program where you do and are required to subsidize your certification trainings. So you pay for those. Sometimes those trainings also involve, putting your time aside to complete the self-paced work or the in-person live training courses that we provide to you with instructors. So you would have to make that commitment to be there, and to also, as a business, you would have the responsibility of paying your own taxes. So if you can equate this as if you were a W-2 employee, at the end of the year, you get a W-2 and you file your tax returns, things of that nature. As an independent contractor, you receive what's called a 1099 miscellaneous document. It looks similar to a W-2, but what it states is that you're in business for yourself and that you're also required to investigate and research how and when you are required to pay your quarterly taxes to the IRS. As all of you know, the IRS wants their tax money, and they do like to have that as you earn it. So, one recommendation I would have, maybe two, would be to take a look at the irs.gov website and do a search for independent contractor. There's a whole subset of information on the website that will be very helpful to you. Tells you how to calculate what your estimated taxes may be and what to use to determine those. All right, so as long as we walk away from this knowing that this is something that you would need to take care of yourself, and you can also even reach out to the individual that may currently do your tax returns for you now. If you use an accountant or a bookkeeper, someone who handles that for you or your family currently, you can have this discussion with them to, hey, how should I be handling my taxes? And do you see or foresee any obstacles or hurdles that I need to make sure I take care of before I get started? And then also don't forget that because you will be working from home in a home office, you have computer equipment, will be using phone lines, things of that nature. These are items that in most cases for individuals are tax deductible. They're deductions that you take for a home business, so they can be utilized to reduce any tax monies you may owe. And each person's situation is different. A lot of individuals work full-time jobs, so maybe they already have enough taxes taken off on that full-time job. So that's why we kind of draw the line and hesitate to advise on taxes, because everybody's situation is different. But we can definitely point you in the right direction and give you some suggestions on where to look up some of this information and who to reach out to. The different positions that we hire for, a lot of our companies, sometimes we're using technology such as video. One of our tax service companies, the agents are on telephone, but they also have the ability to use video webcam to assist the customer from their homes, to maybe help with tech support issues, or just to say, Ms. Smith, can I see your screen so I can kind of take a look at the error message that you're getting? So just keep in mind, most of the things that you could possibly do in a regular brick and mortar call center, we have the technology to be able to do that from your home office. We also hire for, as I mentioned a little earlier, roadside assistance. We definitely often you need bilingual assistance on those accounts too. And bilingual agents are very important to us, because what that does is it also allows us to minimize some cost in the entire program, because if we do not have the agents available to answer calls in a different language, we often have to utilize outside interpreter services to assist our agents. So me being a English speaking person, if I were to take a call from a Spanish speaking person, I would have to place that person on hold while I contacted an interpreter in some cases to say, I have a customer on the line, they speak Spanish, could you interpret the call for me? Now, if we have our own internal agents that speak these languages, we can connect to a special line just for the, say Spanish, and that agent would ask me one or two questions because they're already familiar with the program that we're working, meaning roadside assistance or retail. And they'll say, what program are you working? What language do you need? And most likely I'm already calling or speaking to the Spanish line for this particular case. And that agent can just take over the call and assist the customer. So there's not that three-way conversation going on. So bilingual, if you know individuals that speak some of the different languages, definitely let us know, and share this information with them. This is not a secret. It's a good, best kept secret, but we don't intend it to be a secret. We want to share with anyone who feels this could be helpful for them. All right, and I also mentioned earlier we have one or two office supply companies that we provide service for, a major appliance retailer, even electric companies, utility companies, and on and on. Okay, and as you know, I can definitely tell you in the last year, last 6 months of 2017, we probably added at least a good 6 to 7 new companies that we did not have in the previous years. Now, along with that, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the longevity of the companies that we have on board, a lot of companies have been with us since day one of Arise being established in the mid 90s, late 90s, or we have some that have been with us many, many years, and they continue to reap the benefits of our customer service agents taking calls for their customers. All right. What is required to get started? You know, we kind of touched base on a quiet place to work in your home. You know, for some individuals, if they live alone, that could be possibly their kitchen table or a desk in their living room. Some individuals may have very large closets that they've converted over to a office area. It's up to you. Our main goal is to have you in a quiet place with uninterruptions. And so it appears as if you are at a call center, you know, and you've heard calls where you're in a call center and you can hear the person in the next cubicle speaking, but at least they're speaking business stuff and you're not hearing the baby crying or the dog barking in the background or the kids running around, you know, chasing each other, playing hide and go seek. So we definitely have to present a business-like front when we are servicing and taking calls for our clients. Other technology types of things that you would need, most of our clients will allow Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 10. We do have a couple that go from 7 to 10 and do not allow Windows 8. So that'll always be stated on the client information and you'll be able to see this visibly before you select that particular company. We also do allow Mac computers on many of our programs. Sometimes the Mac computer can be used as is, and usually these are Mac minis. I will hesitate to advise individuals to utilize laptops, things of that nature, and I'll tell you why. However, on a Mac, if it is not able to be used as it is, as the operating system stands, sometimes we may require that you install a software called Boot Camp. And Boot Camp allows that Mac to be able to support multiple operating systems. So if you're a Mac user, that may be something that you would connect with Apple concerning and how to do that and what it means for your computer. And a lot of Mac users probably already have that. Someone who already works from home may already be familiar with that software. Okay, that is a software that you would have to obtain yourself. At this time, I don't have any cost quotes or anything of that nature on it, or if it's something you can just download from the Apple websites. Okay. We do utilize for 99% of our clients a phone line that has no calling features. And by calling features, we mean no voicemail, no call waiting, three-way calling, caller ID, distinctive ring. There are approximately 15 different features that are normally added to a phone line if you purchase from many of the local phone companies or through a bundle type of plan. So we would need to disable or just remove them entirely from your phone in order for you to be successful with taking calls from our clients. For our training classes, we utilize USB VoIP or voice over IP headsets. These are headsets that plug directly into your computer into the USB port. And these headsets must have a microphone similar to what I'm speaking to you on at this time. So you would have this headset and microphone, and it allows you to participate in and to involve yourself in the live instructor training classes that you will participate in. For those of you that may be in school or have taken online courses, we typically use a software or an environment for the classroom called Blackboard. So with the Blackboard, they have meeting rooms and classroom environments, and this is what will be provided to you through various links to participate in your class. Now, when we're actually in class for possibly your live training calls, or once you go total production and you're taking live calls and answering questions for customers, things of that nature, we do ask that you have what's called a headset and dial pad combination. And pretty much what it is it's a little box that looks like a telephone pad, has a telephone pad on top of it, but it also allows your headset to be connected directly to it. And on the other end, this cord connects to that phone line we spoke about on item number 3 on this slide. So this would allow you, when it's time for you to work and your schedule list, you're scheduled to work and should be at your desk, for these phone calls to be delivered to you at your desk, and you would use this hands-free dial pad and headset combination to take your calls. Now, we do not allow wireless headsets. No wireless internet, so any internet connections that you have will need to be connected via Ethernet cord to your modem or router, whichever you may have in your home. And as we stated, you must connect directly. You will not be able to access any of the client materials if you're wireless. We use different products such as Citrix, VMware, VPNs, things of that nature, because for each of the companies that we have, we use their individual computer systems. So you may have thought coming into this that we had one big old system and all the companies use it. We're not able to do that, because think of the different diversity and the different types of businesses that we have. We have one company here that's roadside assistance, one company that may be cruise lines. So if you decide to work for the cruise line company, we have to teach you how to use the cruise reservation system. And so we're on the company's servers, and we have to abide by the security features and security recommendations of that company. Again, we represent that company, and we go through the same trainings, and to a certain degree held to even a higher standard than the in-house internal employees. But that just makes us greater as work from home agents. Now, what we tend to recommend is that you have a separate desktop and a tower. There are individuals that may have what's called all-in-one computers. Those may work for some of our clients. However, if you're going out to purchase one in order to do this, I would highly suggest buying a separate desktop and tower. You are able, if you would like, to utilize your all-in-one. It is not something currently that is supported on our systems and equipment requirement list. However, I do know that on some you may be able to use them, but we can progress at our own risk, and I can definitely go into more details about that. Again, our goal is to set you up for excellence and to succeed. So I like to, put the options out there, and I also attempt to get individuals started at the least out-of-pocket costs necessary. So if you have the equipment already and it works, we won't advise you to go buy a new computer. We will use what you have as long as it passes the PC scan checks for the individual clients. Monitors, for most agents that do this from work from home for any length of time, normally most will have 2 monitors. It's not a requirement, however, but if you have one large one, you'll be that much ahead of the game. And then as you make a little money later, you can purchase another monitor. Okay. And those are the specifications there, and you'll see this information again, because we will be providing you a systems, equipment, and requirements document. Internet, you have to have your own internet in your home, your apartment, and it cannot be wireless. You will definitely need to connect directly to a modem. We feel that agents that can obtain a 10 megabytes per second download speed on that internet and a 3 megabytes per second upload speed are most successful. That's the minimum. If your numbers are higher than that, awesome. This also will somewhat eliminate or alleviate, sometimes if you live in a rural area, sometimes it's very hard to get a very good internet signal in a rural area, or you may be few and far between from any of the stations, may not have, fiber optics, things of that nature. So all of these things will be tested and checked before you're able to enroll in a course. And as I stated, many of us use dual monitors, and the whole purpose of a dual monitor is because for a lot of our companies that we support, we may be in more than one screen at a time. You may be on the screen your customer needs help with, but maybe you need a screen or an application where you need to be able to look up the error message or make adjustments to their accounts, things of that nature. So the more screen space or real estate that you have, as I always say, the better off you will be. Even if you're starting out with a large screen that's 23 inches or so. We do recommend at least a 19-inch monitor, and that is because most of the applications that our clients have written work best on 19 inches or above. Okay, so you could have two 19 inches, two 24-inch monitors. It's up to you. We do not pretend to know your budget, but if you have some concerns or need some suggestions on how to obtain some of this equipment, if you do not already have it, please reach out to us. We're very resourceful and can give you some great ideas and some that you may not have thought about. With that, we're just going to continue what's necessary for you to get started. So you're completing this video here that you're watching now. And if you are still interested, then we ask that you complete the interview pre-screen assessment that is either attached to an email that you will receive or will be available right on the web page right below this video. There's a online interview button there. You can press that button. Now, we will ask you to attend one of our onboarding sessions that will allow our lead recruiter and onboarding specialist, Christan Stevens, to walk you through the process that will be completed at the ariseworkfromhome.com website. We started on Synergy, but again, our partnership is with Arise. So some of the major enrollment and admissions processes do originate from the Arise website. We'll ask you, once you've completed the onboarding steps, to review the opportunities to select a client that you are interested in and that fits your schedule. We definitely want this to be something that you can do either after work or before work during the day. Our courses are Monday through Fridays. The live instruction portion of the courses are typically 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday, except for major holidays. Now, sometimes these 4 hours can be divvied up a little differently, but with those 4 hours, you would be best to schedule for or plan for 2 hours a day on average to complete what we call self-paced assignments. I call it old-fashioned homework. So in order to be successful with our training courses, you want to make sure that you keep up with the self-paced assignments as they're assigned to you. You will find that if you let 2 or 3 days go by where you haven't completed your self-paced work, you may find that you're falling behind, and it's going to be hard to come back from that. Now, sometimes our 4-hour-a-day training courses may be divvied up a little differently to maybe you're in class 2 hours, and maybe you have 2 hours additional that you would complete self-paced work. Another variation of that would be 2 hours in class and then 2 hours on the telephones taking live calls. Some of our courses, we like to place you on the phones maybe after week 2 or 3 of your training. This gives you the opportunity to get your feet wet, to hear live calls, to get that nervousness out, to learn how the call flow goes. Because it's a certification, we want to see you grow and learn the different steps and the light bulb to go off in your brain. And you're like, oh, now I get it. I see how things go and why it's this and why I have to say that, because this is what's happening on the phone call. Okay. And we have courses that will be starting soon this month, and I'm sure we'll be starting to post the next month here it would probably within a few days. So you definitely don't want to linger if you're ready to get going, because as you can see, since the trainings can be on average 20 days, we do have some trainings that are a little shorter than that, and we may have one or two that are longer than 20 days, but on average, most of them are 20 days long. So you do have a little bit of time in there where you're training and in certification, and then you start working. Now, keep in mind, during certification, we do not pay you to attend certification. You are paid, however, if during your certification, there's anything listed that says, phase 2, earn as you learn. That's anything that says you're earning as you learn or taking phone calls as part of your certification, you are compensated for that time on the phones. And by rightfully so, because that is the way Synergy is compensated from Arise, and Arise is compensated from our clients because we answered a telephone call. So in the majority of cases, unless a phone call is being answered, worked on, transferred, on hold, things of that nature, there is no money's changing hands. So we do recognize that you will be in training, and it could be for, up to 20 days. In any event, just as stated, if you take any phone calls during that training, you are paid for those calls. Some of the other things that you'll find as part of our certifications, as our certifications are not put together to fail you. They are put together in a way to see, do you use your resources? When you're on the phone with the customer, there's no way you can remember everything that a company does and every rule and every process. So you're required and expected to look up the information. You're new. You're not expected to remember everything. Even someone who's worked for 10 years, the processes require that you bring up your KBs or knowledge base or whatever tool is presented to you in order for you to look up answers to provide the customer with the correct information. We don't want you to guess. You don't have to, I think it is. No, take the time and look it up. If you're not able to find the answers that you want, then you will reach out to a handy chat agent that will be there to support you the entire time you're working. So if you've tried on your own and you're not quite sure, or maybe you're not able to find what it is you're looking for, then you will reach out to what we call a performance facilitator chat agent. And this person is someone who has basically become a subject matter expert on this particular client, and they're able and in a position to be able to help you and answer your questions, to move you along and help you to assist your customer in the appropriate manner. Because when it's all said and done, it's really about making this a good experience for the customer, answering their question, resolving their issue, and getting them off the phone and on with the rest of their life in a timely manner. Okay. So with your certification, there will be quizzes and final exams. They are open book. Any material that you're provided through your training class, you can use to help facilitate answering your questions. I highly suggest that if you're provided PDF downloads or quick tips or little sheets that your instructor provides you during the course of your class, please download those and save them to your computer. They're there for you to be able to use while you're working. So take advantage of downloading those documents while you have access to the class. Once you certify and you go on the phones live, you will no longer have access to that particular information. However, we do provide many different online resources for you to research the information that your company that you may need to assist your customer. Crowd Hub is one thing. It has like all the latest notifications, news, new posts, changes. Maybe a refund policy changed on Wednesday. However, you were not working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So in order for us to make sure you know what changed on Wednesday, we post that information in a general location for everyone who works that particular company. You may also receive an email saying, hey, go take a look. We posted something new. So it's just alternative ways to get the information out to you. And keep in mind, we're all virtual. So we have to get in the habit of utilizing our emails, reading our emails more than once a week, as some people do. I know a lot of people I send emails to, and 2 weeks later they're responding. I'm like, I sent that 2 weeks ago, and that's gone overdone with. So we just want to be more proactive than that. We ask that you service the minimum hours required per the client, and we'll go over that information as we get closer to these steps. You're always encouraged to work more. Think about it. No company wants to hire all their independent contractors, or, if you were even in a brick and mortar as an employee, the company doesn't hire you to come in and come on board and do the minimum work. No one wants a minimalist. So if you're able to work more hours and your health, allows it in your schedules and family, things of that nature, by all means, work more hours. Plenty of these clients have more than enough hours available. And sometimes we're short. Quite honestly, sometimes we may need more agents. And then you want to kind of think of this too as your business, because as you go forward, the things that you do affect, are we able to keep the client longer? As they see that we can deliver, that we show up and do the work when we're supposed to, that we're providing excellent customer service to their customers, that our surveys are coming back and the customers are like, oh, Michelle, she was a dream to work with. She answered all my questions. These things get us more business from these same clients. They add on other lines of business for us. Or it may help us to land a new company because they see what we've done for this company. So you always want to be thinking as a business owner. So put your business caps on from this day forward. All right. And that's how we said a lot. We were just going over the length of time that you can work some of these. Many individuals come in to work from home, and this whole arena of thinking, oh, I'll just, maybe work 2 months and, then I'll leave. And that's definitely your, prerogative to do so. I can tell you that many agents that work at home through Synergy, the Arise Virtual Network, throughout the whole organization, many have done it for many years. And some have stayed with the same company for many years. So as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, and that company still needs the services through Arise, you have opportunity to continue a long-lasting relationship with that company. So I caution you to not walk into this as it's temporary or that it's just at home part-time. No, this is your business, and this is a way for you to establish that income and that long-term relationship with Synergy and Arise. All right, and just so you're aware, this is just a brief overview on the earning services revenue. And many of our clients, we pay in different ways. Some pay per minute that we're talking and chatting with the customer on the phone. And, if you had to put them on hold for a little bit, you may be paid for some of that time. We do offer chat on a couple of our companies. So if you're chatting with a person, it could be a certain amount paid per chat that you've completed or interaction. Sometimes we also have email. Sometimes email may be a separate account by itself, but it could also be part of a phone contract, a talk contract, and an email contract that can sometimes be provided to the same agent in combination. And then, of course, we also have 1 or 2 accounts that pay per call that you take. So all of these things are accumulated and tracked in our various technology systems. And so these will be explained in more detail based on the client, certification that you decide to move forward with. Now, as a independent contractor with Synergy, as you can see, we've posted our 2018 payroll calendar, and we create a new one every year. We pay you twice a month, and this pay is sent to you via direct deposit. It can be a checking, savings, mini credit union accounts. I even have a couple agents that may even have things like Walmart money cards or different types of money cards where money can be loaded to those cards. So we take care of all that. Synergy takes care of the payroll for all the independent contractors within our company. And so you would be receiving that on a twice a month basis based on the green blocks as the bank deposit dates. So you'll be receiving this information also as you come on board. Now, we mentioned a little bit about the contracts or the statement of work, and you'll hear us say the SO. We call it the SO. And it's one of the most important documents that you'll sign while in contract with us. And actually, you know, Synergy signs a statement of work with Arise since the partnership is with Synergy and Arise, but we also provide you with a statement of work so you're aware of what the expectations are. And this contract will also list the minimal times or intervals that you're required to work. And as you see the word intervals, all interval is 30 minutes blocks of time. So if you see something that says you're required to work 30 intervals, that means 15 hours a week are required. So you divide the intervals by 2, since there are 2 30-minute blocks in an hour, and that will give you your per hour requirement. You'll also, this SOL will also list the amount of pay that you'll receive, how you're graded, how your metrics will be weighed and measured to see, you know, how are you doing? Are you meeting the client's expectations, you know, for average handle times? Surveys, you know, surveys are a very big part of, you know, any business. They want to know what the customers think about the service they received. How our agents interacted on the phone? Were you helpful? Were you pleasant? Etc. We also have a system called the Star bonus system. And once you're out of your first certification contract, that would take effect for you. Many of the different clients pay additional money for star bonuses. And so, of course, as a star, we have 1, 2, and 3 stars. And just in general, 1 star for most accounts is the minimum hours required. Sometimes there's probably no additional monies paid on those, just because it is the minimum. But if you were to earn 2 stars or 3 stars, a lot of our clients pay additional percentage of money on your pay based on you meeting the metrics that were listed for 2 stars or 3 stars. And we'll go into that in more detail. It will, however, also be listed in your opportunity announcements for the clients before you select them. So it is something you can see prior to selecting a company. All right. Now, your certification statement of work or so is always listed and issued at 45 days. And rightfully so, because it's a time frame that you just are completing class. So we're giving you time to be on the telephones and to learn your craft, to hone in your skills on how to take the phone calls and to learn your way around and just how do I put the call on hold? You know, there's a lot of things that you'll be learning during this 45 days. So within that time, you will be expected to work the minimum amount of hours that are listed there. That is taken in high consideration when you are graded to see if you'll be issued another contract. If you are issued another contract or statement of work, then the next one will be for 90 days. And so as long as you are performing, you know, above par and above, you know, at the expectations of that contract, these contracts can be renewed every 90 days just based on you. Did you do what you told us you were going to do? Did you work the hours you promised to work? We're very heavy into commitment adherence. And for us, what commitment adherence is, I selected 10 hours, did I work 10 hours? Or, because that would be 100%, or did I pick 10 hours, but I only showed up for 5 of those hours? That's a 50% commitment adherence. So as you can see, no company would want a 50% commitment adherence. Currently, we allow 90% or above. So we even gave a little wiggle room for the days where you may be late getting home from work and you get a flat tire. Maybe you're sick and you just can't talk. You have laryngitis, or that dreaded flu that's going around now, etc. So the expectations are spelled out in writing prior to you even selecting a course. Now, I also mentioned that you would be responsible for selecting your own schedule and the times that you work, because based on the client's hours of operation, you'll be able to go in and pick your own times to work. You could do something technically as maybe you want to work 9 to 11 on Monday morning, and then maybe you have a PTA meeting at the school. Tuesday you want off. Wednesday, maybe you want to work 5 to 10 in the evening because the kids are going to grandma and all of that good stuff. So you would have to, you can make your schedule that way from day to day to week, because normally we have several weeks of our schedule in advance, at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So it allows you to plan and still have a great balance in your home life and your work life. On our schedules, sometimes pre-select will come into play on, when the hours are available and how many you can get. But they are released in the schedule at certain times and certain dates that you will be advised per client, because it could be different depending on the client that you're looking to work. And the opportunities will also tell you, like a lot of times, when is their peak times of day. So a business could be open from 8 in the morning to midnight, but they find that they get the most calls maybe from 3 to 7. So that would be a very busy time for that company. And so they would have probably most likely more agents scheduled to work, or that they need to work during 3 to 7 versus 8 to 3 and then 7 to midnight. So you can even plan to say, this is when all the calls are coming in. Maybe I want to pick my schedule during that time. So you can plan your incoming calls. It's expected to be busy. On the same token, the technology that we have can scale down the amount of agents needed. Sometimes the number of calls forecasted may not come to fruition. And so instead of having agents just sitting there waiting for the telephone to ring, we will notify agents that, hey, we have what we call an interval exception. We don't have as many calls coming through as we thought. Would a few of you like to sign out and opt to not work? There's no sense of sitting there if there's no phone calls coming in, because remember, when there's a phone call coming in, that's when the pay is being generated. All right. And you may find that you can take that half an hour and go throw a load of laundry in, maybe make dinner real quick and come back later. All right. Now, at this point, if you're still interested, we just ask that you complete the interview pre-screen to continue on to the next steps in the process. We would definitely ask you to make sure that you are reading and opening all emails that you may receive from Synergy and from Arise, because sometimes Arise will send different notifications, or this is your next step type of email. So you definitely want to get in the habit of looking there and checking your junk box or spam in case the internet or email provider that you have tosses your stuff into the spam box. And with that being said, we look forward to working with you, and please reach out to us with any questions. Our team is always here to assist you, and we definitely look forward to seeing you on the other side. Thank you.